Welcome to Below the 49th, my personal pulse of the United States of America, my neighbor to the south, below the 49th. I'm Michael A. Charbon. Today's title, MIKA B, the True Light. In the early days of television, viewers trusted and connected with the character of their favorite nightly news anchor. It was a CBS Evening News with Walter Cronkite or the Huntley-Brinkley Report. These iconic pioneers delivered unvarnished stories of the day. When Walter Cronkite delivered the news of the death of President John F. Kennedy, he removed his glasses, revealing his teary eyes. Viewers could see how profoundly overcome Cronkite was. That was the unvarnished news, not Walter's world. Today, the Power 3 cable news channels, Fox, CNN, and MSNBC, each align with a specific partisan political party. This reflects in who watches, the guests they feature, and the opinions they espouse. Fox represents the lone Republican perspective, while CNN and MSNBC align Democrat. This media tribalism below the 49th reinforces the divisive nature of the current U.S. political landscape. Republican versus Democrat, us versus them, red versus blue, black versus white, open borders versus the wall, healthcare versus payer-based insurance, pro-choice versus pro-life, the Second Amendment versus gun control. These are all the hot-button issues in the upcoming 2020 November election. It really comes down to a fundamental difference of opinion. Opinion of what America is, what America stands for, what America should be, how America moves forward, and what will America become. These polarizing issues depends on where you live, what you do for a living, your education, and what color you are. The emblematic American flag has three colors, red, white, and blue. Ironic how politics align with the red party on one side, the blue party on the other side, while white remains in the middle. It begs the question, where's the middle ground? Where is the white party? Oh goodness, one could never have a party using white as their color in America. Are you kidding? Like Don Lemon's head would basically explode live on TV, and he'd spend the next 3 weeks nonstop interviewing Van Jones, Joy Reid, Simone Sanders, and Al Sharpton ad nauseum, speaking to how racist that even the thought would be for a political party that would even consider the color white. Oh, how Canadian of me. So take Brett Kavanaugh and the treatment he received from the media in 2018 compared to Joe Biden's treatment now in 2020. Remember Believe All Women? Those were the words repeated again and again regarding the accuser of Brett Kavanaugh. An accuser who comes forward should always be believed and listened to. That was what the Democratic hardline said. Remember that? Democratic Senator Kirsten Gillibrand of New York delivered a scathing speech on the Senate floor about how it's telling American women that your voice does not matter when media outlets question her accusations. Gillibrand was referring to the Republican-leading Fox News, who vigorously challenged the woman's recollection. So the Democratic media called Brett Kavanaugh despicable and alleged him guilty until proven guilty, according to their TV narrative. Extensive live coverage of large Me Too demonstrations with Handmaid's Tale-dressed, placard-holding protesters, disgusted, upset, to the point of revolution and practically public unrest. It was alleged that in 1982, 36-year-old teenager Kavanaugh exposed himself to a girl in high school. It was not alleged that any sexual assault or sexual harassment occurred. But the horrendous and despicable Democratic media machine even made on-camera accusations of serious and unfounded criminal conclusions. It must be stated that Brett Kavanaugh unequivocally denies the accusations against him and clearly stated that they did not happen and that they are absolutely untrue. So if you live internationally with only one source of American news, like CNN, or you live in cable news bubbles, like watching only NBC and CNN in the United States, this 24/7 bombardment would clearly point to guilt. If that's the only perspective you're exposed to, you would assume it's true. But in stark contrast with little corroborating evidence, vague recollections, and no police charges ever filed, and while simultaneously under the microscope of daily live Supreme Court hearings to evaluate Kavanaugh's culpability in the accusation, and if they would affect his ability to be a Supreme Court judge. In a 50-48 Senate vote, Brett Kavanaugh became a Supreme Court judge, and America moved on. Not really. The story continues. In 2020, Joe Biden is the presumptive Democratic presidential candidate. He's held up as the Republican Trump defeater. You know, the one propped up to avenge what was stolen from Hillary Clinton in 2018? But there's a female accuser in the ointment, alleging that in 1993, 27 years ago, while working for Joe Biden, she was pinned against the wall, her skirt lifted up and then penetrated by his fingers. These are alleged accusations of sexual assault, violation, and physical penetration. Now, it must be also said that Joe Biden unequivocally denies all the accusations against him and clearly stated that they did not happen and that they are absolutely untrue. So with tape of the accuser's mother calling the Larry King Live show, making inferences of an alleged assault, contemporaneous evidence of 5 witnesses, corroborating statements with dates, alleging the accuser told her friends this happened, for some, these allegations are compelling and far outweigh what was accused of Kavanaugh. So with the proverbial political shoe on the other foot, where's the Believe All Women movement? The demonstrations of marching feminist voices supporting an accuser? Where's Gillibrand's voice? Does the Democratic media believe all women, like in 2018? See, the problem is November, there's a presidential election where Gillibrand is auditioning in public as Biden's potential VP. She stated she stands by Biden. Okay, well, even Stacey Abrams, the failed 2018 Jordan, she was a gubernatorial candidate. She also stands by Joe Biden. Why, it was a New York Times article she read that convinced her. Really? Then add the race card, where Abrams states she's concerned about Biden possibly not picking a woman of color as his running mate. Wow. Can you really say that? A little self-serving, do you think? Okay, so the Democratic Party line has changed to, we believe Biden. Why, Speaker Pelosi said she's satisfied with Biden's response. What? She should put her ice cream down and change the Democratic line to, we don't believe her. What hypocrisy, what flagrant lack of level reporting. Some media below the 40 line is really, at times, a clown car wreck of biased reporting and cover-ups on both sides. But the one bright shining light, the real star in this mess, is MIKA BRZEZINSKI. MIKA is the co-host of MSNBC's Morning Joe. MIKA showed her true journalistic roots by conducting a real interview with Joe Biden. There were no slow-pitch questions. She pushed back, she demanded answers, and basically represent all viewers from all parties. Great job, MIKA. That was really a passionate, journalistic, and integrity-filled interview. I have to say, Chris Hayes of MSNBC and Carlson, Hannity, and Ingram of Fox all gave leveled context to the accuser and Biden's presumption of innocence. Now, MIKA's not shy to show her disdain towards the current administration. I mean, she supports the Democratic government to take Pennsylvania Avenue in November, 100%, there's no doubt. But MIKA did the job of a journalist. She put her personal opinion aside and asked the questions that needed to be asked, allowing the viewer, us, to make our own mind up by listening to Biden's answers. MIKA BRZEZINSKI's might was right, and we celebrate her journalism and her bright light in a very dim media landscape. MIKA, you rock. But who's that Joe guy on your show? Anyways, please like and share and leave a comment. I thank you for those considerations. And until next time, God bless and take care. I'm Michael A. Charbon for Below the 49.